Today is the day we are officially launching our book called Out of the Shadows. Out of the Shadows is a booklet that we've had numerous community services contribute to, and it is designed as a tool for individuals who are experiencing domestic and intimate abuse or concerns to educate themselves with respect to what abuse is and to have some safety tips. It's certainly a book that does not guarantee that everyone will have safety. However, it does offer you some tips that you can consider when you're taking into consideration your particular circumstances and that of your children. Peterborough Northumberland Victim Services is a not-for-profit agency. We have 3 programs. One is the Vickers program, which offers 24-hour 365 days of the week, volunteer crisis responders to go out to respond to issues of tragedy and circumstances. We are second responders to the police and the emergency personnel. And we're very pleased today to launch the book, the manual Out of the Shadows. Out of the Shadows is a book that has a number of pieces of information in it to assist people who are experiencing domestic abuse and intimate abuse, criminal harassment from a partner, to learn a little bit about what abuse is and what their options are. Enclosed in this book is a glossary of terms, of judicial terms. It includes information about the police industry. It includes information about shelters and other options that people may be considering. The component that is highly effective for people, and we get a lot of good feedback on, is the component that talks about abuse. What is abuse? How do you identify abuse? Understanding the abuse wheel and being able to identify whether or not that falls into something that you are experiencing. The other component of this book that is so helpful is the safety planning. Safety planning is essential for anyone who is experiencing these sorts of issues, and whether or not they are currently in a volatile situation or they plan to leave. Safety planning is required in all aspects of life, whether that be at home, work, and school. The other area of consideration is the planning that is involved with children. Included in the book is opportunities to be able to jot down your notes, schedule your appointments, and to document the calls that you've made to community partners. Our crisis responders are exceptional folks that follow a specific training program spearheaded by Deborah Belzy, and these individuals are quite incredible, and when we meet later this afternoon you'll learn more about that. With respect to the Out of the Shadows, we have another program called SupportLink, and SupportLink is a program that is designed to help people who, primarily women, but can be men as well, who are experiencing domestic abuse, criminal harassment, and other issues. The program is designed specifically around safety, and hence this book had evolved from that. It is essential that people realize that there are community partners, there are agencies such as ours that are willing and quite eager to be able to connect with you, to be able to provide you with some information, some education, and perhaps some options, so that if you are experiencing abuse, if you are experiencing concerns about your intimate partnership, that you have some options. We also work with predominantly with women, but issues have arisen with men as well. And we are one of the community partners that welcome the phone call and be able to provide you support and direction as required.
As you know, the first 6 months of from a domestic partnership having separation is the most volatile. So having that safety planning at the beginning stages to provide options, answer questions that the victim may not have the courage to ask or may never have the courage to ask, providing those answers or at least options is pivotal to the program and pivotal to the ongoing follow-up with my clients. And that's another benefit that the program provides, is that case management piece that sometimes is just not possible with the amount of investigations and work that the police do. And the SupportLink program is able to provide that follow-up with clients and with victims based on their changing circumstances in their life.
We applied for a grant from the Ministry of Community Safety and Corrections because we indicated, and our partners indicated, that having one resource for individuals experiencing domestic abuse or intimate issues was essential. And it was through the contributions of our community partners that we were able to create this. And as well, we got feedback from people who've experienced domestic abuse themselves. We're very pleased to have an inclusive book that incorporates the Northumberland and Peterborough area. As you take a look at the table of contents, you'll recognize that there are many questions about domestic violence that will be answered in the booklet. A number of people who are wanting to educate themselves on behalf of their own personal circumstances, or a loved one or a neighbor, can take a look through this and understand what the rights are for a victim, what domestic abuse is, and what safety planning is all about, and all the nuances to consider when you're considering that. There's an abuse checklist and certainly a power and control wheel. Also, there's information about language which the judiciary might use, language that the police might use, and what would happen if you did call the police and what to expect. And this information is very valuable because, as we know, it's imperative that people have information. The more information that folks have, the better off they are at making decisions as to what is in their best interest. We heard earlier from Linda Jensen from the shelter. Knowing what your options are and where to go is crucial.